welcome. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. We are live once again. Welcome to Apple Home Talk live stream. The live stream all about building a smart home. How's everybody doing today? Let me get my screens all in order here and set up just right. I'm not gonna lie, time kind of got away from me today. So welcome. Let's check in with everybody in the chat. How's everybody doing? Coming in loud and clear. Good. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Turin, what's up, Turin? Ranked number 1 in the leaderboard right now. Appreciate you, Turin. Holland Tech, what's up, man? Glad you could make it here. Thump Jimmy, audio is a little low. Let me know. How's the audio sound? Is my audio a little low? Do I need to crank it up a little bit for you guys? Thanks, Torin. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let me crank this up a little bit. Could be my microphone. I'll turn it up a little bit there. Let me know if that's a little bit better. Still low. Okay. All right. How's that sounding? Sounding a little bit better? Audio's low. Really low, like your mic isn't on. Okay. Mic is on. Let me reconnect. All right, testing. Now I'm going to blow you guys away probably. Are we better? It's worse now. How are we doing now? Actually worse. It's lower. All right, bear with me. Let's see. How about now? Now there's no volume. Can you hear me now? Testing. Much better. Still really low. Worse. That's better, but still low. All right, let's turn up the gain. All right, how we doing? I appreciate your patience, guys. Good. Like I said, time got away from me today, so I looked up and I was like, oh, crap. It's 4:02. Are we good now? John says we're good. It's fine. Ty says we're fine. We're good. Don, good. Thank you, Don. Cortez, what's up, Cortez? Peter, all good here. Thank you, Mike. Shahif, good. All right, we're good. We're good enough, right? Good enough. And then Brian says worse. Lurk Jerk says sound great. So I don't even know. I can turn it up a little bit higher right here in my software. Low again, still low, I'm hearing. It was always good, says Greg. Now it's low again. Super low again. Let me see. How are we doing now? It's not coming from my phone because I'm not using my phone. Too low? All right. I think the live chat delay is a problem. Brian, I think you are right. That's messing me up. And Trey says we're great. Well, I'm going to just start talking. Much better. Larry says, okay, I think I adjusted my microphone. Are we good? I appreciate you guys and your patience, man. How's everybody doing? You guys having a good week? I'm just getting back in the swing of the thing, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me. We were on vacation for a little while. And just got back yesterday, so kind of just getting back into the swing of things, you know. Matt, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Larry, all right. Appreciate you guys and all the feedback. Frederick, what's up, Frederick? Frederick says, let's go with it. I agree. Let's go with it. Let me get the mic out the way, and we're going to roll with it. I'm not going to touch anything else. So how's everybody doing this week? Hope you're doing well. There's a little bit of stuff we can chat about today in the news. We're going to do some Q&A for sure today because there's kind of like a low news cycle, I feel like, lately, at least in smart home. So, you know, gives us a good opportunity to just hang out and talk about smart homes and projects and stuff like that. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Nobody needs to know. Ty, what's up, Ty? Nelson T. Still waiting on that garage video, Frederick says. Yeah, let me see. Let me make sure my pop-up is working. Cool. Yeah, I know, man. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to, hopefully, I may have mentioned this last week. I don't know. So if I did, forgive me. But I'm going to post probably behind the scenes video or something like that for you channel members as I'm getting the actual garage ready. I just had another delivery today trying to fix one of the issues that I had with one of my workbenches. So I was actually in the garage today a good bit trying to get some things fixed up, and still got a long ways to go, but I'm thinking about, like I said, doing a little behind the scenes video, maybe get some feedback from you guys. I think that might be kind of cool, because now I'm at the fun part where I'm going to start adding all like the light strips and, you know, just make it smart and stuff like that. So I probably need to do some speakers. We talked about that a little bit last week. Maybe a TV, something like that. But yeah, definitely more to come on the garage project. Don, celebrating 37 months of membership. Thank you, Don, so much for your support. Don says, ribs on the smoker, good day in spite of the heat and humidity. Man, that sounds nice. That does sound like a good day, man. And I'm just happy we're not having any storms at this very moment. It was raining pretty hard earlier. Seems like every time I go live, pretty much all summer, it seems like we've got bad storms going on, which always makes me a little nervous, can mess up the internet and stuff like that. But I think we're good to go today. Matt, what's up, Matt from London? Good to see you here. Glad you could join us today. Terry, what's up, Terry? Terry Lee White in the house. Glad you can make it. George Langerbeer is here as well. At the boiling point where it's starting to, okay. On your recovery, George, recovering. Good to hear, man. We are thinking about you. TV in your garage. Yeah, of course. I actually didn't even think about that this whole time I've been doing this whole garage project and remodeling the garage. Didn't even really think about putting a TV out there until most of the work was done. And then I was out there kind of moving some stuff around. I was like, you know, I'd really like to watch a YouTube video or something right now, or just have a TV on when I'm out there doing projects. I think so. I think I might have to do it. Frederick says, celebrating 37 months of membership. Thank you, Frederick, as always, for the continued support and for helping out here in the chat. You also get a free member chat once a month like this. That is correct. Thank you so much. So it's kind of like a super chat, but you just don't have to pay anything extra for it. And as a channel member, you get to use one of these a month. They're member milestone chats, I think is exactly what they're called. So yeah, all you channel members, I see we got quite a few here in the chat today. You guys all can use one of those once a month here in the live stream. So that's always cool. And it's nice because they stick out, and we definitely notice those. So thank you, Frederick. And yeah, also as a channel member, you'll get early access to new videos. So I've been posting most of my videos at least a few days early, as soon as they're ready. And channel members can watch those early before they're scheduled. I usually schedule videos to go live for everybody on Sundays. So I try to post a new video every Sunday. And same video, same content. Everybody still gets to see the content, whether you're a member or not. But channel members do often get to see the videos just a little bit early before they go live to everybody else. And also you get access to our member Discord server, which is a really cool place to be. I must say, let me see if I actually have it pulled up. Let's see. Maybe we can do a little preview of the member. Yeah, so here's our Discord server. And you can see here, we've got, well, this is the welcome channel, but we've got the general section here where we kind of just chat. We've got section for HomeKit questions, automations. We've got the advanced section down here. Home Assistant is always got some activity going on over here in our Home Assistant section. And we've got sections for just about every product category in your smart home, like locks and switches and robot vacuums and all that good stuff. So if you are a channel member, I do appreciate that support. You can get access to our member Discord server. We also do a monthly member chat over there every first Wednesday of every month. So check that out if you decide to become a channel member. And we've got some gifted memberships. Dawn, thank you so much. So let me see if I can pull that chat up. Dawn. And let's see, we'll do an applause. There it is. Dawn gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Dawn. So 5 of you guys just got gifted a membership thanks to Dawn. So man, thank you, Dawn. And that is basically a month free trial you can have. And if you don't do the trial or you just decide to join, it's like $5 a month, and you get all those perks and stuff. But Dawn just gifted 5. So that is a month free trial of that. Moner, sorry, I'm going to butcher some of these names. I apologize. Ellie, Ku, Yen, and Steven, you guys were all gifted memberships, and Randy in LA. So Dawn, thank you for that. So come join us in the Discord or just hang out here in the chat with us. Awesome. And Dan, my man Dan here, says celebrating 42 months of membership. Man, thank you so much, Dan. Awesome guy. Dan says, best $5 a month, join us. So there you go. You heard it from Dan. I appreciate you, Dan, as always, hanging out here in the chat. Yes, and to join that Discord server, you need to connect your discount account, connect your YouTube account in Discord. So if you're new to Discord, you can create a free account on the website, Discord, or in the app, in the Discord app, and then you just go into your account settings there and you can connect your YouTube account and get access to our Discord server. All right, let's see. What else we got here going on in the chat? We got a couple new members too joined. Awesome. Thank you so much. Nobody Needs to Know. And Mark. And I know Mark has been a member before, so maybe rejoining. Thank you guys so much for joining, becoming channel members. Lurk Jerk asked about the Flick Duo. Sorry, I've got two little... two chat boxes going on here I'm trying to keep up with. It says, do you have yours already? I have not received one, no. So Flick has been very quiet since earlier in the year, so just assuming there have been some delays there. We talked about it in a recent stream here, and they, on the website, I think they said they're offering refunds maybe. I think it was Flick, if you wanted one. I think it was Flick. Don't quote me on that, but it's been delayed, looks like, but hopefully we'll see it this year. Hair Riot says, I missed the confetti. I know. I had a confetti, just a general all-purpose confetti button, and I took it away. I need to bring it back. I do still have a confetti button for super chats, though. So if we get a super chat, maybe I'll use the the confetti super chat button. Let's see, checking in the Shane, see my comment to Lurk Jerk above. Oh, thank you so much, Brian. Says, Brian says they commented on my comment yesterday saying that Q3 is a possibility for production. My guess is we won't actually have it in hand till Q4. Yeah, it's usually not too reassuring if somebody says anything is a possibility. So definitely delayed. But thank you, Brian, for sharing that update there on the Flick Duo. Really neat little device if it works well. So I just really hope that these delays means they're fine-tuning it to work really well. That's what I hope, because it has a little built-in gyroscope and all kinds of stuff. If it works well, it's going to be a pretty cool little, smart home controller, I think. So hopefully that's what these delays mean, and it's going to come out working really well. That's what I hope. Yes, HomeKit has added robot vacuum support. So you can now add robot vacuums in the Apple Home app, robot vacuums that have Matter support. So your robot vacuum has to support Matter in order to do that, but you can do that. I've got a few of them in my HomeKit home right now as we speak. So a couple things. TVO. I can't remember if we talked about this last week or not. Like I said, I've been on vacation, so been kind of relaxing a little bit on the beach and stuff, hanging out with friends. So forgive me if we talked about this. I don't think we did, but tvOS 26 beta is now available. The public beta is now available. So let's just talk. I want to talk real quick about some of these updates in case you're thinking about updating to the public beta. I generally recommend people not updating to developer betas unless you have a really good reason. But if you, the public betas are usually a little bit more safe. So, it might be something to consider. And I have been updating mine, and we can talk about that in just a second. But anyways, some of the things we get with the new tvOS update, the liquid glass redesign, which I really didn't think was very significant at all, but I will say it is somewhat noticeable. It's not like very different, which is probably a good thing because I like the design of Apple TV OS or tvOS. So that's probably a good thing, but there's some nice little subtle changes. Does make it feel kind of fresh and new, which I wasn't really expecting, so that's nice. Here's kind of an overview. So there's some updates to Apple Music Sing, easier profile switching. So that's like the user profile. So now you'll be prompted every time the Apple TV sleeps and then you wake it back up to pick a profile. So if your kids watch the TV or something, or your wife or whatever a lot, you'll be prompted to choose which user's watching. That could be good or not, I guess, depending, but you can turn that off if you don't like it. Better support for AirPlay speakers that are not HomePod. So that's kind of significant for anybody who maybe uses Sonos or like other AirPlay speakers that aren't HomePods that you want to be basically dedicated speakers. So not just connecting to AirPlay temporarily every time you turn on the TV, but you can set them as, you can set AirPlay speakers as permanent default speakers for your Apple TV now, which I think a lot of people, some people will appreciate. Real quick, the update is available for all Apple TV HD and Apple TV 4K models, although older generations will not support like the liquid glass effects. So that is limited to second generation Apple TV 4K, which is the 2021 version and newer. Let's see, anything here, the karaoke stuff. I don't know, you can actually use your phone as like a microphone now, which I think would be fun if that's something you're into or would use. I kind of want to get my daughter to test that out. I think she'd probably like that with her friends. And there's the profile switching I was talking about. There's also some updates to the FaceTime layout, like the way posters are displayed. And also, this one's pretty cool, I think. I haven't tested this or seen this in action, but phone call and FaceTime audio notifications display on the TV for the current user, allowing you to quickly answer using connected HomePods or your iPhone. That's pretty cool. So that just, I don't know, that feels kind of futuristic if you can just accept phone calls using your HomePods and your Apple TV and stuff all there together. I do like that. So we got some new screensaver updates and stuff like that as well. We talked about this too in a previous stream. Supposedly we read that somehow it was found in like the code or something that tvOS 26 has been updated to thread 1.4 for your smart home. I don't see that listed anywhere officially. I've kind of been looking. I've asked around. I haven't heard or seen anything official on that, but that is the main reason why I wanted to go ahead and update mine to the public beta. So I'm doing that. I'm kind of in the process of updating my Apple TVs right now, just to see if it makes my HomeKit Thread devices more stable. So I haven't had any major issues with them, but I will say my Thread accessories in HomeKit specifically haven't been super stable as much as I would like them to be. So I wanted to see if this would kind of fix that. And I know it's a HomeKit thing because I have thread accessories like matter over thread accessories that work fine in other ecosystems like Homey or Home Assistant or something, but I'm just having issues in Apple Home. So I did update my main Apple TV, and I'll say so far I just did this since coming back from vacation though, so time will tell. But so far, some of my problem thread accessories seem to be working well since doing the update. So hopefully these updates will make our Apple Home accessories more reliable. Zeus, welcome. Thank you for joining and becoming a channel member. I appreciate you. And speaking of channel members, Armando celebrates 33 months of membership. Thank you, Armando, for the support. It says, have you tried the D200i smart lock from Aqara? The D200i. I'm going to have to look that up because I'm not even familiar with that. So I guess that answers your question. But the D200, I wonder if that's one of the ones. Okay, yeah, that's one of the ones. I don't think this one ships internationally. Aqara face recognition smart lock D200i. So yeah, I have not tried this. I'm not very familiar with this one. It looks like it has a little doorbell built in, facial recognition. That's a nice looking lock though. Man, that's pretty slick. So yeah, I'm not sure where this one is sold. Looking through here. What shop are we in right now? This might be just available in like the Asian market. Supports HomeKey. So these type of locks here, which we don't really have in the US. But that's pretty sweet. I think that's the first facial recognition lock that I've seen from Aqara. They sell this where I live, but it's low. It says global version, meaning it's EU and Asia Pacific. Okay, yeah, so nobody needs to know says probably Europe. Yeah, maybe Europe. A guy from Singapore sells it internationally. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to get one of those to work on my door though, so I've not tried it, but it looks pretty awesome, and I like Aqara's other locks, so I think if you have a door that could use something like that, pretty cool, man, pretty cool. And facial recognition on a lock. I've used a couple smart locks with facial recognition, just not one from Aqara, so. Let me catch up here in the chat. Real quick. Not in Europe, Lurk Jerk says. So yeah, it might just be an Asian thing. In the Chinese market maybe. What's up, Edgar? Edgar's Home Tech here in the stream. Oh, nice. Don, thank you for sharing. Don says, when I updated my Apple TV on the first beta, it almost immediately solved every one of my Thread issues. Thread is doing great for me. That's great to hear. Very good. I know a lot of people, there's just so many factors I feel like that could throw off a Thread network, especially with an Apple HomeKit. So hopefully this update here is really going to solve some things. Zeus says, I'll get on the Discord server. Yeah, come join us over there for sure. And I should say too, anybody who's a channel member, if you can get into the Discord server, and if I'm not able to answer your question here today in the stream, or maybe I miss it, go over to the Discord server, ask over there. By all means, you can tag me, or you can just post a question to the group. A lot of great, knowledgeable people over there in the group. But I did see this one, and Zeus says I'll get on the Discord server to ask, but just wondering if anyone knows if the Aqara H2 switch smart bulb mode works on non-Aqara bulbs. So yes and no. Basically, there is a special mode that you can use I forget what they call it. Mars Tech, I think it's called. I think it's called Mars Tech is what they're calling it, with the H2 switch and your Aqara bulbs. So it's just for Aqara, basically pairing Aqara lights to the switch. But you can also convert the switch buttons to basically just be wireless buttons, and you can completely turn off the relay. So you can lock the relay so that it can't be controlled at all. That's actually what I'm doing here in my studio. So I did switch my main light switch here in the studio to the H2. I'm using the 4-button one, but same thing applies to any of the H2 switches. And I just basically lock the relay so that it doesn't actually control the ceiling light at all. The physical relay doesn't. And then I just created some automations. So when I push the button, the one that normally would control that relay, I just created automations that turns on and off, basically toggles my nanoleaf ceiling light up here. So yes, you can use it essentially through automations to control non-Aqara bulbs. So I hope that helped answer that question there. We got some questions rolling in. We're going to get to some questions here in a minute. I'm going to save that. Mark, I see your question. Checking in the chat here. Oh, low stock. I see what you say. Nobody needs to know. I got you. Okay. Another thing I was going to mention here. Some of you guys, two things real quick. Some of you guys probably know. I don't really focus too much on rumors and stuff here in the chat, but did want to mention this. Or on the channel, I should say. In the chat, we can have a little fun. We can talk about rumors. But these haven't been exhausted to death yet, so we'll talk about these. Apple's launching 2 new home products, supposedly, according to rumors, here on 9 to 5 Mac this fall. Here's what's coming. We're looking at maybe a new Apple TV 4K. So they're saying with some confidence there, a new Apple TV 4K is coming based on several upgrade rumors. With a new chip, and they're saying the big reason to change the chip is enabling Apple Intelligence, which requires more power. So all that makes sense. There's also rumors of possibly a built-in camera, which would kind of tie into some of the FaceTime updates and stuff we've been seeing with Apple TV 4K. Let's see. Apple's first in-house Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip is also coming to this new Apple TV, supposedly. That may not sound exciting, except neither. Okay, so yeah, they're just talking about the in-house Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip, and they're saying that also new HomePods could get this, which, you know, would just make everything work better together, hopefully. And then the other rumored device is a new HomePod Mini 2. They are overdue for an update here, I think. It's been, over almost 5 years since the original HomePod Mini was released. Let's see what they're saying here. Yeah, so this will feature that new, the Apple in-house chip as well. New colors, maybe. Yeah, so that's basically it. Hopefully that's the case, and we get some updates to our voice assistant and that Apple Intelligence here with some new devices. And then, you know, if we see these happen, then maybe, you know, I would say that will probably point to maybe spring for that HomePod with the screen, the new hub device that we've kind of exhausted with the rumors there we've been hearing about for years, but maybe in the spring that'll come. All right. Nobody needs to know, asking about, let's see, do you know if the Schlage Encode Plus works with rechargeable AA batteries? I never tried using the Schlage Encode Plus with rechargeable batteries, so I'm not sure. There may be some people in the chat who have tried that. I know a lot of people have used that lock. It's a pretty popular one for Apple Home users, but I never tried it with rechargeable batteries. Some locks don't play well with rechargeable batteries, so that is possible, but I'm not 100% sure on this one. Yeah, same thing. Same here. Don says would absolutely get a new HomePod if they come out with one. Or no, sorry, new Apple TV if it comes out. Yeah, I would too, even though I really don't need one. Same thing with the HomePods. But I feel like HomePods are a little easier to upgrade and a little more justifiable, I would say, because you can always get a new HomePod, put it in wherever you would want to upgrade, and then relocate, your older ones. Those are always good for other places. Put them in a bathroom. I'll put one in the garage. I'm probably going to put some in the garage. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but yeah, I'll definitely try them out if we get some new Apple smart home devices, because it doesn't happen very often. So I'll definitely try it out. Hey, are you affiliated with the Home Devices app? Your videos are featured a lot. I am not. I am not affiliated with them at all. I've communicated with them here and there over the years, but I am not affiliated with the Home Devices app at all. It's a great app. I highly encourage people to check it out. And you might be talking about their newsletter or, I guess the app too. You can enable like news sources and content creators that produce like smart home content in the app. So maybe you can go and enable more. Maybe that's why you're seeing more of my stuff. But yeah, you can enable people and turn them off, I think, to get those updates. I think they push out like an update every time somebody releases a new video and stuff like that. Speaking of lock and rechargeable batteries, check this one out. Pull up the right tab. Avia unveiled a new solar panel for its HomeKit smart lock. So this is pretty interesting. Solar power for a smart lock. And I must say, I saw this first at CES. I think it was this past year. I think it was the Locklin app, or the Locklin lock that had a solar panel, but it looked kind of janky, I thought, at least at the demo. I don't know if that's what they ended up producing, but that was the first time I saw a solar panel for a lock. I thought it was kind of weird, but I must say, this is a pretty nice looking integration, I guess. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's clearly some sort of solar panel, but it's better than like wires hanging and connecting to a solar panel mounted up higher or something. I mean, obviously you're going to need to have some decent sunlight shining on your front door or whatever door you want to use this for this to work, but pretty neat. I mean, pretty neat. I've changed a lot of smart lock batteries over the years, so if that works well, that's pretty cool. This lock does support Apple Home Key as well. It has a little built-in fingerprint, not fingerprint, but a passcode, the keypad on the top there. Again, I have not used this one. It's one of the few locks I have not used, but let's see if it's available on Amazon right now. Shoot, you can buy it right now on Amazon, the little solar panel. So, pretty cool. Somebody needs to get that. Let me know what you think. And the smart lock itself, pretty expensive, I guess, but not terrible, I suppose, for a good smart lock. $300 marked down to $269 right now. They got a black version. The black one would probably look really good with the solar panel. So yeah, interesting. Nice to see some new, unique solutions there for, yeah, immunes. Yes, the linked Vino. That's not the one I was thinking. What's the one I was thinking? I'm going to try to find it now. see if I can find it. Oh, that is the one. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's lock-in. I may have said that wrong earlier. Yeah, see, this is kind of weird. This is what I saw at CES. Thank you for sharing that. That I don't know. I wouldn't want that probably mounted on the front door. So I kind of like the way they Avia kind of integrated that solar panel. A little more elegant looking probably. Trent says, Lone Star Trent, it's 100. It's just, oh, it just thundered here. I thought you were talking prices. I read that wrong. I read 100. I thought the lock was on sale for $100. I was gonna say, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Might should pull the plug on that one, or pull the trigger on that one. All right, let's see. Yeah, same here. I get some pretty good sunlight on my front door. Just ask my Aqara doorbell. Yeah, so it can be a problem with some doorbell cameras when you get too much sun. I know a lot of people had issues with that. The circle view video camera getting indirect sunlight. It would go unresponsive and stuff and overheat. What's up, William? Good afternoon. Glad you could make it here and join us. Still waiting on SwitchBot Vision keypad to be on Amazon. Yeah, you do have to order that one directly from the website, from the SwitchBot site. So it's still not on Amazon, but I imagine it will be soon. And you guys, if you have any questions, I know I got to a couple of them, but feel free to drop your questions now. Moving forward here in the chat, I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. Yeah, George. Okay, I just seen your comment there, George. Have you tried the Lachlan? I know you've tried a lot of smart locks as well. Oh, nice. And William answering there with the Schlage using rechargeable batteries. Nice. See, we got some good responses here. Level lock bolt for Frederick. Yeah, I have a covered front porch also, but I get probably a good hour of really good sunlight in the mornings on my front porch. So, like I said, I guess could be a problem with some doorbells, but I haven't had a problem really with that in a long time. Oh, nice. George did a review on that one. I missed that one. Okay. Nice. Cool, George. Well, if you're curious about that one, with the solar panel, did you use it? Well, I don't think you can use a solar panel in a condo like you live. So, probably didn't use the solar panel portion. Doug, what's up, Doug? Mac, do you know if the Lutron light switches and HomeKit will work on HomeKit? I'm not really sure what you mean there, Doug. Lutron light switches do work with HomeKit. You have to have, if the light and work on Alexa. Sorry if I just triggered your speakers. You should be able to integrate them both. I haven't done that, but you should be able to integrate them separately. Best smart home buys for a studio apartment. Really depends on what you can get away with, I guess, as far as where you live. Some apartment complexes are a lot more strict than others. When my son moved out and he lived in an apartment for a while, we hooked him up with an Aqara doorbell camera and an Aqara smart lock. I think we gave him the U100, and that was a really nice addition. He was allowed to change the lock there, and if you're not allowed to change the lock, you might be able to get away with one of the retrofit locks, whether it's like the Aqara U200 or the new Nuki smart lock. That's a really nice one. I like that one a lot. So yeah, smart locks are always nice. Doorbell camera, if you can mount one. The good thing about the Aqara one is that it's wireless, so that I was able to use that there wirelessly. Unfortunately, at an apartment complex, if you get a lot of traffic, it might drain the battery on those doorbell cameras pretty quickly. So just something to be aware of. I know his drained quicker than other locations that I've installed those. Other than that, motion sensors, smart lights maybe that you can trigger with your automations. Really just depends on what you're into and what you want to do. But yeah, I like the security aspect of cameras and locks if possible. Light switches might be difficult in an apartment. You probably can't change out light switches. So then just getting like maybe some light strips or light bulbs, some motion sensors. You can create automations and stuff like that, or some presence sensors. Just did a video review on a new wireless presence sensor that just came out. So maybe look into something like that. Just trying to catch up in the chat here. Okay. All right. So there you go. Thanks, George. Thanks for the update. At least I'm not the only one. George says, couldn't use the solar panel for that smart lock. Even if I could, I wouldn't have because I think it's hideous. Okay. I was kind of worried it was just me. Yeah, that was my first thought. When I saw it at CES, I was like, oh, a solar panel for a smart lock. That's cool. I don't like the way it looks at all. But, I like the innovation. So, always nice. Is Tailwind coming out with a new garage door opener? Greg asked. I've heard some things that maybe something is coming. Let's see what we can search. I don't know what all I can say. Let's see if they got anything listed on the website. Anything new coming. Ooh. I guess we can. So yes, looks like something new is coming. Pre-order the Tailwind IQ3 2.0 second generation smart garage door controller. There you go. And then they also have the second gen smart garage door and gate controller. So not a whole lot of options for automating your gates. So this could be something to look into. But this is available for pre-order right now. Very reasonable price, I think, especially I will say, from my experience with Tailwind, that's a reasonable price for the quality and reliability that you get, assuming this is anything like the first generation model. I've been using it for quite a while. Just reset up mine because it was kind of out of commission for a while because we were doing the garage renovation. But plugged it back in, been working great ever since while I was out of town and stuff like that. But yeah, so we got a little update here, and these things work with like just about everything. So a lot of new features. I'm definitely excited. I might have to check that out. Y'all let me know if you want me to do like a full video on that or something on the channel. That's short for Shane's NDA. I very rarely sign an NDA, to be honest with you. I may have signed like one or something. But usually a lot of these products, when they're new and released, just so you guys know, if you didn't already, a lot of times they're under they call it embargo, and that's just kind of the company's requesting not to talk about something until they officially announce it or release it or whatever the case may be, that embargo date. That's why you see like a new Apple device or whatever come out and like 20 YouTubers or more all make a video on the same day. That's usually the embargo date. So I typically try to respect the companies that ask for that, just out of kindness. But yeah, when something's posted online. So that's kind of how it works anyways. So there a little behind the scenes, I guess. Definitely want to see a new video on the new Tailwind. All right, appreciate the feedback. Yeah, I'm curious too. I'd like to see what's different. So I can definitely see myself making a video on that because, like I said, I really like the last one. I am redoing my garage anyway, so shoot, what better time to upgrade that and see if it comes with any, new features or anything like that. Definitely worth checking out. And their website says works with a lot of stuff. Yeah. Let me see. I always think it's funny because, yeah, look at their website. Oops. They've got like every badge listed on here. Hey, Home Assistant's listed on there. I think the one thing they didn't have listed on here was Homey. So I want to get them. I want to see a Homey integration, Homey Pro integration. I think I've reached out to them before, or maybe the folks at Homey, one of the two, on getting Tailwind and integration, a native integration with Homey. It's the one they need on there. Well, they need all of them, but it's the one they don't have on there, maybe. They seem to have everything else listed on there. Let's see. I think I may have had some questions I flagged. Let me see if I got some of these saved. CG here art. Sorry for butchering your name there. Would like a keypad with Apple HomeKey to open my garage door with a motor. Unfortunately, I don't know of any way. HomeKey, as far as I know, only works with locks. I have not seen any that works with any type of garage door opener or anything. So I don't think anything like that currently exists that I know of. Mark asked a question earlier, said, only time I have issues with Thread is when my hub connects to my UniFi 7 Pro wall. Any other UniFi AP and it's fine. Anyone else? I guess that was a general question for everyone. So yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier about Thread is there's just so many factors. A lot of times it could be network settings that are a factor. A lot of people don't know to look at and change. So it's been kind of some tough growing pains, I feel like, with Thread and the adoption of Thread. Trevor asked, any wireless Matter or HomeKit options for a closet with no power outlet available? Closet has water shutoff valve in it. Are you looking? You didn't really ask what you're looking to add in there. Are you looking for lights, or you said no power outlet? Are you looking for a shutoff valve, like an automatic shutoff valve? The Aqara water shutoff valve is battery operated, so I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for something with like lights or something else, but if it's the water shutoff valve you want to control in HomeKit, you could definitely check out the Aqara water shutoff valve. It does require an Aqara hub. Okay, Trevor said lights. So with lights with no power, it's going to be a bit tougher. I mean, you pretty much, with lights, you pretty much need an outlet. I mean, there are one or two like battery powered lights that you can use, like the Eve Flare back there, that's battery powered. You could get something like that and charge it so often, but to me, I probably wouldn't want to do that because I would forget to charge it, Yeah, Lone Star Trent says, if you want light, you'll have to run power. I would probably look at running power somehow. it might be worth just getting an electrician to add an outlet in there, and then you could use a light strip or something like that just to light up the room or the closet. Yeah, some good suggestions. So I mean, there are some creative ways, using power banks or something like that, but I wouldn't want to do that for my lighting, personally. Yusuf asked, I watched a video where you said you started using Home Assistant. I used to use Homebridge on a Pi, but that got buggy as heck. I tried Home Assistant, but that scared me because I don't code. Homie for the win. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like that. So I've talked about it quite a bit here on the channel. I still do use Homey and Home Assistant. And obviously Apple Home is my primary, but I use Home Assistant kind of for device compatibility and stuff. I don't use it a ton for like crazy automations. I really do like using Homey for automation. So I kind of use a combination of all three. But yeah, if you look at Home Assistant and you feel overwhelmed or scared from that, Homey might be something worth looking at. It's a lot more user-friendly, I think, just for creating automations and stuff like that. So, yeah, thank you for sharing your experience there. I agree. Juan says, another light question. I want to use light strips under cabinets, but I don't have power outlets nearby. How do you do that? Do you run cables all over? Do you pass them inside the walls? So yeah, if you don't have power outlets nearby, I mean, you just gotta, it's one of those things like you either gonna have to run wires somewhere. I mean, you don't want to run like extension cords and stuff through walls. That's not something you want to do. Through cabinets you can do, but not through walls. You want to be safe. Your best bet probably is to get an electrician if you just don't have any outlets nearby that you can make work. Your best bet's probably to get an electrician. It's usually not too expensive. That may vary depending on where you live, but you may just, like I say, get an electrician to install 1 or 2 outlets in some convenient places. It might be worth the trouble if that's the case. I actually did that in my bathroom. I kind of cheated because I have a friend that does electrical. And a couple years ago, I had them install an electrical outlet inside my cabinet underneath my bathroom sink so I could run a light strip underneath that cabinet. But yeah, that might be something to look into. Usually kitchen cabinets, there's outlets nearby, so you can kind of get away with it there behind the fridge and different places like that. But yeah, if you're doing cabinets in other places, you may just want to get an outlet installed somewhere. Thank you, Frederick. Frederick says, everyone, please hit that like button and show Shane some love. I appreciate that, Frederick. And thank you guys all for hanging out and chatting with me today. I do actually have to get running. My daughter's going into high school, which is just, I still can't really wrap my head around that, but it's happening whether I like it or not. So we have a little event for her this evening as she's getting ready to go into high school. So you guys all pray for me on that front. But I appreciate you guys all hanging out. Again, if you're a channel member, hop over to Discord. If I wasn't able to get your question today, you can ask me. You can tag me over there. Just ask the group. Otherwise, I will be back here every Wednesday live streaming, and we're going to do it again next week. And I'm also over on Instagram, pretty active over there. If you want to hop over to Instagram and follow the behind the scenes and more daily stuff over there. I'll be doing that as well the rest of this week. Till next time, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you next time. God bless. Have a great day. Bye.